The modern concept of obedience is the doing of the thing. St. Thomas went much deeper into it, not only in the Summa, but in other writings. And he talked about obedience as the prompt conformity of will to the command of a superior. And it's a sub virtue of justice to render unto each his due. But St. Thomas was very clear on obedience, what it is and what it is not. And the first element is that it's a moral virtue that's subject to justice and it aligns the human will with God's will. So, the chief portion or elemental concept of obedience is conformity of will to God's will. And so, it's in order to achieve the good. St. Thomas would say that obedience is, and did say that obedience is right response to right authority discharged rightly. So we have right three times there. It's right response, meaning right ordered. So whenever Thomas says right, he's saying meaning right ordered toward the ultimate good, meaning relationship with God. So it's right response, that's prompt conformity of will to right authority. Is this person in a position of authority? And is the request within that area of authority? So, for instance, when we had bishops demanding our obedience in getting a vaccination for COVID, this was outside their ecclesial authority. It was outside that purview. And so it was not right authority. And then discharged rightly in order to achieve the good. Now, the primary canon, the primary mission for the church for 20 centuries was salvation of souls, not coexistence, not ecumenicism, not modernism, not one world unity. It was salvation of souls, and there's no salvation outside the church. And so, what we see modernly is that prelates and others speak of obedience as a form of intimidation. And it's very difficult for the Catholic to understand that Thomas gives you the ability to discern very clearly if obedience is in fact even the issue. Because to not follow the command, a command that is against morals, that is against doctrine, to not follow a command that is not right authority discharged rightly, that's an obligation. That's not disobedience. And we see a big shift in the 84 code that was a result of Vatican II, which commands obedience to and religious conformity of intellect and will to whatever the Pope and the Magisterium says, regardless of its validity. And I think this is a key understanding that is lost, and we need to shift the narrative back to these basic and fundamental things. Bishop Lefebvre saw this very, very clearly as something that was happening within the council, that was happening. And as aftermath of Vatican II continued to spread across Christendom, he did what was necessary to preserve the faith whole and entire. I am not saying he took matters into his own hands. He did not do that. He looked upon what is tradition, what does 20 centuries of the church teach us? When did we react to this? And Pope Benedict XVI list and commented on Bishop Lefebvre that upon his death that he would be remembered as the greatest single bishop of the 21st century. And I certainly believe that. I certainly see that taking shape because this battle is not about the liturgy. This is about Holy Mother Church.